This is Miss Melton. Remember, you're going to be learning about types of poetry, so you can try it, and then you'll be posting a poem on a discussion board to get some feedback from your classmates, and then you'll be submitting a poem of your own. So I really encourage you while you're watching the video to pause after each poem and give that type of poem a try. You might try it once, you might really like it, and try more than one poem, but you really need to give each one a good try to find the best type of poetry for you. The first type is free verse. In a free verse poem, the poet can write any way they want. The words can rhyme or not. The words can flow or not quite flow. It's all really up to the author as to how it looks. So, in a free verse poem, there does not need to be any rhythm or rhyming. There doesn't have to be repetition or alliteration or onomatopoeia. It is really just a poem. It can be about something or not about something. It can be about feelings. It can be a story, whatever you would like it to be. So give free verse a try. The next type of poem is rhyming poetry, which we've done several times already. And when we were reading and analyzing poems. In a poem that rhymes, patterns may change, but at least 2 lines should sound the same. I'm going to start with September by John Updike. The breezes taste of apple peel, the air is full of smells to feel, ripe fruit, old footballs, burning brush, new books, erasers, chalk and such. The bee, his hive, well honeyed, hums, and mother cuts chrysanthemums. Like plates washed clean, with suds the days are polished with a morning haze. And notice even the format of where they indented the next line. That was a choice the poet made. So when you're writing yours, think about how you want it to look. Next is Child Frightened by a Thunderstorm by Ted Kooser. Thunder has nested in the grass all night and rumpled it, and with its outstretched wings has crushed the peonies. Its beak was bright, sharper than garden shears, and clattering. It snipped bouquets of branches for its bed. I could not sleep. The thunder's eyes were red. Now notice in this poem there is rhyming night and bright, but it's not like a bouncy type of rhythm, and that's because the author wanted the mood to sound like a thunderstorm, kind of like uh, maybe a little scary, but also calm, not a happy, bouncy feeling. So the lines are longer with the rhyming at the ends of every other one for night and bright and wings and clattering, and then bed and red rhyme at the end. So you really, in poetry, the rhyming is all up to you. There are some others for you to try. A common rhyme pattern is A, B, A, B, C, C. Like the boy bounced his ball, he bounced it up and down, then he threw it down the hall, where it landed on the ground, with no desire left to play, he turned and left it where it lay. So A, B, and then A, because ball and hall rhyme, and then ground and down, and then last C, C, play and lay. So that is a common type of rhyme scheme. You also might have a special type of rhyme, which is a rhyming poem, which is a limerick. A limerick is a poem. It could be from Ireland, it doesn't have to be, but it originated there, and that pattern is A, A, B, B, A. So the first 2 lines rhyme, the second 2, and then the last one rhymes with the first one. And they're usually very funny. So let's try this first poem. There once was a man from Cork who liked to eat lots of pork. He ate all the grease, which made him obese, and he didn't even use a fork. That kid just played video games. Each day was the same. He sat on the couch. He was such a slouch. His life was kind of lame. So again, very funny poems that you can try. So pause here. Oh, there's one more. This is called Oranges Are Delicious. When you peel them, they're sweet. They are very nutritious. They make you want to eat and eat. They slide down my belly like a bowl full of jelly. And I pointed out this poem because Oranges Are Delicious is the title, and most times the title will give the reader a clue as to the subject of the poem. And notice nowhere in the poem does it talk about oranges, but because the title is Oranges Are Delicious, you know what the author is talking about. So give rhyming poetry a try. A limerick, an ABABCC pattern, or whichever type of pattern you would like to use. This type of poem is a biopoem, and it has 11 lines. I'll move it so you can see the other lines, but it's a poem about a person. Can be yourself. So the first line is your name. The second line is four descriptive words, so adjectives. Line 3 is 5 identifiers. Line 4 is when you say a lover of. And then line 5 is who feels. That recess part goes with another part you'll see in just a minute. Line 6 is who needs something. Line 7 is who gives. Line 8 is who fears. Line 9 is who likes to wear. Line 10, who likes to see. And line 11 is lives. And we can use this is a class did a poem, and they were class 5B, and they said they were noisy, special, active, energetic. And their identifiers are their students, they are friends, kids, people, and winners. They're lovers of recess, candy, and work, who feel bored, tired, and ready for recess, who need weekends, recess, and summer, who give time, fun, pencils, who fear homework, school, and bullies, who like to wear jackets, and Under Armour and jerseys, who would like to see summer, lives in Loveland, Colorado. So this poem's from Loveland, Colorado. And then at the end, you repeat the name from the top again. So that is what a bio poem looks like. And you can see the final draft looks like this. So give bio poem a try and write about yourself. The next type of poem is an acrostic poem. Acrostic poems, created when really cool people on a mission to be creative start by writing a word vertically, then insert words or phrases next to each letter, creating a clever poem. So most kids really like this poem because you create a word. It can be your name. It can be something you like. Like I've had students do football, dance, computers, and then you write something about that's like your title. You write something about it on each line, starting with the word that you used. And it can be one word or it can be a whole line of words. So give acrostic poems a try. Next is shape poems, free verse poems or rhyming poems that create shape on the page using words. We sometimes call these concrete poems. So you see this one, as big as ball, as round as sun, I tug and pull you when you run, and when wind blows, I say politely, hold me tight. So what is this concrete poem about? Look at the shape of the poem. If you can see, this shape is a balloon. There are other types of poems that are shape or concrete poems. Like this one, they kind of drew the picture and then put the words inside. Trees right now, in the month of April, the leaves are finally starting to emerge from branches little by little, which means summer is close by. Now, my one suggestion when you're doing a shape poem is make sure you start your words at the top left and you kind of go down. Sometimes students will do like a circle, and it's hard for the reader to know where their eyes should start reading. So try and make it easy for the reader to understand where your poem starts and stops at the end. So give a shape poem a try. The next type is 5 senses plus 1 poem. Close your eyes and think about a special place, and then you use your 5 senses to write about this place. So you will say, I see the tall towering mountains. I smell pine trees all around. I hear the winds through the trees. I feel calm and relaxed. I taste the plants fresh and new. I think I could stay here forever. Now, when you finish your poem, this part will not be here. You're going to take that part out. So your poem will look like this. It won't have this at all, and it'll just be the towering mountains, pine trees all around, the winds through the trees, calm and relaxed, the plants fresh and new. I could stay here forever. And this would be a great type of poem to have a title that clues the reader in into what you're talking about. Like maybe you could say, Camp is the title. And then people know, okay, they're at camp, this is what they're seeing. So go ahead and give 5 sentences and 1+1 poem. The next type of poem is a haiku poem, and this has a syllable pattern of 5-7-5. Haikus are exactly 3 lines long, and they're typically about nature. They were originated in Japan. So this one is April thunderstorms come booming in the still night, scaring my poor dog. So you can see each line has a certain number of syllables, and sometimes it doesn't even have to make sense, and that's okay. Here's some more. Through the raindrops, you can see the small flowers push their way upwards. In the cold winter, snowflakes flutter, falling soft inside coffee brews. Now, I would suggest if you're doing haikus as your final um, poem that you're going to turn in, I would not do just one. I would try and do 3, and you're going to need to show, besides that you know what a haiku is, some other type of um, elements of poetry, repetition, onomatopoeia, something. So be thinking about that if you decide to do haiku as your final one. So give haikus a try. The last 2 types of poems kind of go together. There's cinquains, but there's one way where you can do syllables, and it follows this pattern. You have a title, then a description of the title, then action of the title, a feeling about the title, and then a synonym for the title. And each line has a certain number of syllables, goes 2, 4, 6, 8, and then back to 2 at the end. So kind of like the bio poem, but a little bit different. Then you can also do a word cinquain, which is different than the syllable. The part, it goes title, description of title, action about the title, feeling about the title, synonym for the title. That's the same, but instead of using syllables, you go 1 word, 2 word, 3 words, 4 words, back to 1 word. And oftentimes, this is usually about something like a book, a movie, a sport, something somebody likes to do, a person, a family member, anything like that. So pick something that you can have description words about, so adjectives, um, action words, verbs, and then also feeling words. So give a word cinquain or a syllable cinquain a try next. And you've given all of those a try. You should have probably around 8 poems or maybe more. And go through, read them, maybe practice reading some of them out loud to a family member. And then you're going to pick one on the next one to share with your classmates. So, and you might want to read it out loud and see if something needs to be changed, and feel free to change it or write a whole new one before you write your write your poem on the discussion board.